1450 and on the web at sportsradio1450.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Sports 101. 529-1450 is our phone number. Talking anything sports, so whatever you guys want to chime in about, go ahead. But we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL lockout. Looks like, well, I'm getting excited anyway for fantasy football. Looks like the end is in sight. Hopefully. Is there any way this doesn't get done soon?
No, this is going to get done. We've been saying it the whole time. This is going to get done. We're going to have football. Everyone relax. And now they were telling us, hey, the owners already signed off on it. Now we're just waiting on the players. We should have, by the end of the week, by yesterday, it was supposed to go through. Everybody's supposed to check in Monday and football. But now the owners decided to sneak a few things into the agreement that we haven't overlooked yet. So now we have to go through that. And, I believe the players that this has happened. I totally feel like the owners are the type of people who would be like, oh, so everything's good and everything's great? Just throw that and that in there. Okay, now sign. Wait.
Yeah, hurry up. We'll give you the Tuesday. Hurry up and sign it. Don't look at it.
Yeah, rewind.
Just sign it.
So, that's where they're at now. But from what we all understand, and this is what's making us hopeful, is that all of the major issues have been settled. All of the major sticking points that both sides are working for have been kind of settled and agreed upon. So now there's a few little things, like, for instance, the owners want to install an opt-out clause after 7 years for both sides, not just for them, for the owners and for the players.
I thought that's what the players wanted.
They do. The players are pushing for that, but they're also saying opt-out for us, or you guys can opt out as well. But it comes with some sort of a penalty if one side decides to opt out. So, but then I was reading about how that would affect all the ratings and all the and the TV deals and everything like that. So, hey, so that's probably not going to happen. But they're just ironing out the wrinkles now. They got the main part of it done. They're just working out the bugs, and we're going to have football, boys. It's going to happen.
Well, I'm anxious. I already got invited to your fantasy league, Eric. And, and Mark, we got the other one going too in the Yahoo, and so I'm just want it to be done. That's the thing. They already said no Hall of Fame game now. The Rams and Bears won't be playing in Canton, so the Canton people aren't that happy about it. But
it's interesting that the Hall of Fame game will have a bunch of players that will never be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, they weren't going to play Sam Bradford anyway. They weren't going to play him anyway. But how does this affect the start of the season, guys? As far as getting players prepared, especially teams with newer coaches, newer offensive coordinators, newer defensive coordinators,
it's going to be
with a lot of rookies.
It's going to be a zoo. The first couple weeks, where you are signing players, free agents, players that didn't get drafted. It's going to be fun. It really will.
And I'll tell you what to look out for this year, from a fantasy standpoint and just from a regular football fan standpoint. The teams and the players that are going to have the most success this year are going to be the guys that have been in the same system. And that's kind of typical anyway, but especially this year, the guys that aren't, switching teams, the guys that aren't getting new coaches, the guys that are going right back to work just as if it, picked up last year. And these other guys are going to be way, way, way behind the eight ball here, trying to get caught up with their new teams and their new coaches. And it's going to be like, hey, welcome to our team. Guess what? We kick off in a week and a half.
Yeah, and I know we have a caller, but I got to get to real quick. An invite to Eric's league. Wait a minute, where's my invite?
You didn't get one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting at here.
We started.
Is this an under 50 league?
We started.
I understand then.
We started these.
We've had this league for a while.
I understand.
Yeah. So if somebody drops out, you're in line.
You're in like fifth place, Mark. Congratulations.
Okay. All right.
529-1450 is our phone number. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. You're on Sports 101. Go ahead.
Hey, it's Matt Davis. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up? Hey,
what's up?
Hey, I need a little help, and I know it's not fancy time yet.
Yes, it is, Matt.
You're right. It is. Hey, what Skip, name your top 5 rookies coming in. Who would they be? And as far as offensive guys, and give just a quick breakdown, real quick, for some rookies. It's please.
Here's the problem, and Eric just brought it up. Rookies, it's going to be real tough with rookies this year, because they're going to get in later than normal.
Yep.
They're not going to know the system. I think for sure you can count on Mikel LeSure being a viable fantasy guy. I think, if nothing else, for touchdowns. I don't know if he's going to be doing a lot from 20 to the 20 because they still have Javid Best, but I think the Lions are going to depend on him for inside the 20-yard line. So I think LeSure is going to be a real nice to have as far as touchdowns. That's one guy for sure.
Agreed. Also, and I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but the Dolphins drafted a running back to come in who's probably just going to be the guy. Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams, both free agents, and the Dolphins drafted a running back. And his name's just sneaking away from me. I bought my first fantasy mag last week, and I've just.
Well, I got the whole first round here.
Oh, okay. He's a second rounder.
Second rounder.
I still think Julio Jones is someone else you still have to.
Yeah, Julio Jones. That's where I was going. Julio Jones is definitely the top wideout that can probably put up some points pretty quick.
Or A.J. Green. Look at A.J.
Green, right, on the Bengals, but they got to figure out their quarterback position.
That's the problem. They don't know right now who's going to be throwing the ball. So, I mean, A.J. Green's stats now is a little iffy.
And I like I like Mark Ingram in New Orleans. A lot of people are saying it's a crowded backfield, but I think Mark Ingram might
emerge. It's
emerge.
a productive backfield.
Yeah, and I believe Ingram may emerge as kind of the guy there in New Orleans.
Well, Bush won't be there most likely come start of the season. So now you're down to just
Pierre Thomas,
and they like to run a kind of committee running back. So I think you're right. I think Ingram's got a possibility.
And remember, Pierre Thomas gets hurt quite often.
Easily.
Last year, Chris Ivory was a viable fantasy starter for a good chunk of the season. So, I mean, you can tell me how loaded up the New Orleans backfield is all day, but I was starting their fourth-string running back at one point. So they're not as loaded up as you might think. Mark Ingram could have a nice contribution.
The Dolphins running back you're looking for is Daniel Thomas.
There it is.
Out of Kansas State.
But Daniel Thomas and LeSure, as we said, Julio Jones and Ingram, I think, are guys that you can count on at least giving you some production. After that, it's a quarterback, forget about it. Don't count on a quarterback at all because
no Cam Newton, I noticed.
No.
Never.
There's not enough time for some of these guys to learn the system to be productive.
All right, well, there's your top five. There's your top five. Jones, Thomas, Ingram, Green, and LeSure. There's your top five for Matt Davis from Country Financial, helping us out here on Sports 101. When you need more than just a quote, give Matt Davis a call for your financial needs, 483-4355. But call us for your fantasy football needs and your sports needs at 529-1450. We're chatting before the show, and it's looking like our first Fantasy Football 101 show is going to be on August the 21st, maybe, the last Sunday of the fair, or maybe that Sunday after. And we'll be doing 2 hours starting this season.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday,
9 to 11, gang.
That way we can take you guys right up to when you can set your rosters.
We have
getting you right up to kickoff time. And, it's going to be a good time.
And don't forget, a lot of news comes in, that Saturday night, that Sunday morning stuff that we normally wouldn't have access to on Saturday morning here.
That's why I'm liking this move. Yeah. We get a whole 24 more hours closer to game time.
Yeah. The second hour, you're likely to hear very little of me other than just info that comes in because I've got a couple places, sites-wise, that I'm going to go to.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, 2 hours is
typing.
We've got segments planned. There's all kinds of things. It's going to be different than the normal Fantasy Football 101 show that 2 hours allows us to do. I'm really excited.
I'm excited, but we'll be talking about something. Mark will be adding guys and adjusting his roster the whole time.
That's the only thing I'm worried about is not being able to concentrate on my team as much as I should.
And you're wondering why you weren't invited to that league, Mark. This is what they think of you.
Yeah, we're scared of you.
529-1450 is the phone number. Well, you are the defending champion in the Yahoo League, right, Mark?
Well, I'm telling you what, it's the way it's going. It was you the year before, me currently. I'm beginning to think now that it's Eric's turn.
It'll be me this year.
Wait a minute.
What happened?
I'm with Nick because the problem is I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this year, so it's gonna be tough.
As long as we keep it in the family, that's fine. And we know that the other group is not going to like it, and that's what makes it even.
I just had a great idea.
I doubt it, but go ahead.
Wait till you hear it, Mark. Let's all. We'll get together and we'll be in cahoots, and between the three of us, we will form one super ultimate team, and just make a bunch of bogus trades and stuff, and then one guy can have the super ultimate team, and then we'll divide it 3 ways at the end.
Well, you should have saved that for off the air.
They're not listening. Those guys are all drunks.
True. They're not up at this time.
No.
529-1450 is our phone number. Talking anything.